Sydney Sweeney's rise isn't built on loud performances, but on emotional surrender. As Cassie Howard in Euphoria, she didn't just act, she exposed a generation's inner chaos. Her portrayal of a teenage girl unraveling in the name of love, identity, and validation was so visceral that it felt like watching someone's diary pages burst into flames. Every breathless breakdown, trembling confession, and wild-eyed stare was hauntingly familiar to anyone who's ever loved too hard or lost themselves trying. She didn't ask for empathy, she forced it. And in doing so, she became the emotional epicenter of a show designed to shock. Sydney Sweeney knows what the world sees when it looks at her. Blonde, stunning, delicate features, the industry's idea of marketable femininity. But she's never let that define her. She's weaponized it. She leans into roles that lure you in with beauty, then gut you with truth. From the painfully repressed teen in The White Lotus to the shattered romantic in reality, she challenges viewers to look past the surface and find the woman inside, the one who's breaking, calculating, and surviving. She doesn't just play characters, she dissects expectations. And every performance is a masterclass in contrast. There are moments in Euphoria, particularly in Season 2, where Sydney Sweeney takes Cassie to places that feel too real. We don't just watch a girl spiral, we witness her soul fracture. Her voice climbs an octave too high, her hands tremble with suppressed hysteria, her smile stretches into madness. It's not theatrical, it's terrifyingly intimate. And Sweeney doesn't hold back. She peels back every layer of Cassie's fragile self-worth and lays it bare on bathroom floors, under fluorescent lights, in front of mirrors that judge and forgive all at once. It's not just Emmy-worthy, it's generational storytelling. Behind Sydney's tear-streaked performances and red carpet gowns is a businesswoman in full command. At just 25, she launched her production company, 50/50 Films, determined to shape the kind of narratives that Hollywood has long denied young women. She reads contracts, she rewrites scripts, she studies markets. Her moves are methodical. She's not here to play Hollywood's game, but to reprogram it. And she's doing it while still auditioning, still showing up, still hustling harder than anyone thinks she needs to. For Sydney, success isn't about arrival, it's about agency. Sydney's red carpet presence is a performance in itself. Not for shock, not for validation, but for visual storytelling. One night, she's in soft pastels with vintage silhouettes, feminine and ethereal. Next, she's in corsetry and leather, defiant and bold. She wears contradictions like couture. Her fashion sense is a cinematic language of its own. Always expressive, always intentional, never accidental. And while tabloids may rush to dissect every look, what they often miss is the message: you can be the fantasy and still be the architect of your own myth. Sydney Sweeney has been underestimated by casting directors, critics, and even some viewers simply for being beautiful. But she's flipped that on its head, showing that beauty and brilliance don't cancel each other out. They collide to form something unstoppable. She plays girls who are emotional, erotic, intellectual, vulnerable, and strong, all at once. She's not interested in being the cool girl or the ingenue. She wants to be complicated. She wants to explore what it means to be messy and misunderstood. And she's doing it with a level of depth that can't be faked. Beneath the fame, Sydney remains deeply aware of the pressure her generation carries, online, on screen, and within themselves. She's spoken openly about anxiety, burnout, financial fear, and being dismissed in boardrooms. But she's not dramatizing it, she's normalizing it. She encourages young people to own their feelings, to cry when they need to demand better, and not to apologize for existing in progress. Through her work and her interviews, she offers something rare: permission to be human in a world obsessed with performance. Success for Sydney isn't just about roles or awards, it's about control. She wants the kind of career that spans decades, not headlines. The kind where she's directing, producing, and lifting others as she climbs. She studies women like Reese Witherspoon and Margot Robbie, not just for their fame, but for their blueprints. Every role she takes is a brick in a house she's building from scratch. And she's not afraid to walk away from anything that doesn't align with her vision. For Sydney, True success is not just being seen, it's being heard. Sydney Sweeney's career may still be unfolding, but her impact is already undeniable. She's part of a new wave of women in Hollywood who are choosing complexity over comfort, intention over fame, and power over passivity. She is not just a trend. She is not just a face. She is a force. Her legacy won't be measured in followers or tabloid covers. It will be measured in stories changed, ceilings shattered, and generations inspired. She is not playing a role. She is rewriting the script. In a show filled with demogorgons and psychic teens, it was Caleb McLaughlin's Lucas Sinclair who brought something rare: real-world grounding. He wasn't just the comic relief or the skeptic, he was the voice of reason, the pulse of the friend group. Caleb gave Lucas depth, strength, and fire. He showed us what it meant to be brave, not just in the upside down, but in a town that often treated him like an outsider. With every eye roll, every fight for his friends, and every tear, Caleb made Lucas essential. He didn't need powers. He had conviction. Before Netflix fame, Caleb was already commanding stages, most notably as young Simba in Broadway's The Lion King. That theatrical foundation shaped his discipline, charisma, and presence. He learned how to hold an audience not with special effects, but with pure performance. When he transitioned to the screen, that energy followed. He brought the same heart to film roles like Concrete Cowboy, where he held his own opposite Idris Elba in a gritty, emotional tale of identity and family. Caleb isn't just a TV star, he's a born storyteller. Caleb McLaughlin refuses to be boxed in. He said no to roles that rely on stereotypes, and yes to ones that reflect truth, culture, and challenge. Whether it's playing a city kid caught between two worlds in Concrete Cowboy or exploring deeper, darker territory in upcoming projects, he's choosing substance over spotlight. He's more than a familiar face. He's an artist who values integrity. And in an industry that often pushes young black actors into one-dimensional roles, Caleb is demanding and delivering range. Caleb uses his voice off-screen to champion issues that many young stars avoid. He's spoken powerfully about mental health, self-worth, and the pressure of growing up in the public eye. His campaign, Be Your Biggest Fan, encourages self-love and confidence among young people, especially in communities where that message is rarely heard. He reminds fans that strength starts within, and that loving yourself is a radical act in a world that constantly tries to define you. Caleb isn't just an actor, he's a role model in motion. Whether it's bold colors, tailored suits, or streetwear with flair, Caleb's fashion sense stands out, but never overshadows. His looks are modern, daring, and unapologetically his. He uses fashion as a form of identity, a tool for self-expression, and a way to celebrate his culture. He walks red carpets not just as a star, but as a symbol of confidence and individuality. He's redefining what young black male style looks like in Hollywood, blending elegance with edge. Caleb doesn't need to shout to be heard. He speaks with calm intensity, acts with purpose, and moves through interviews and appearances with self-assured grace. He's not trying to fit anyone's idea of what a teen star should be. He's creating his own lane. That quiet confidence doesn't just impress directors, it inspires fans. He's proof that you don't need to be loud to make noise. Sometimes the most powerful presence is the one that listens, learns, and leads with heart. In Concrete Cowboy, Caleb explored the rarely told story of urban black cowboy culture. His portrayal of a troubled teen reconnecting with his father and roots was achingly honest. He brought vulnerability, strength, and a sense of internal conflict that showed his depth as a dramatic actor. The role was a turning point, not just in his career, but in his evolution as a storyteller with purpose. He didn't just act in the film, he represented a community, and he did it with grace. Caleb McLaughlin is not just showing up, he's showing the way. As one of the few black leads in a major sci-fi series, he's pushed for more inclusion, more nuance, and more opportunities. He's spoken openly about feeling like the least favorite among fans, and instead of shrinking, he's spoken the truth. He uses his platform not to complain, but to educate. His presence matters, his voice matters, and the change he's fighting for is bigger than Hollywood. It's about visibility, dignity, and justice. Still in his early 20s, Caleb McLaughlin has already built a resume most actors twice his age would envy. But what sets him apart isn't just talent, it's intention. He's playing the long game, choosing roles that challenge, speaking out, when it counts, inspiring younger fans to love themselves fiercely and walk with purpose. He's not just a breakout star, he's a blueprint for how to rise without losing your roots. Caleb's story is far from over. But already it's clear, he's not just building a career, he's building a legacy.